Hello and welcome back to the U16. My name is David Patterson and I'm glad to have here the chief route setter for this whole competition for the Bloc Summer Masters, Patrick Sommer with me. Hello Patrick.
Hi.
How has it been, the whole competition so far for you? What do you expect to go better? What did go super well?
I think until now it was quite fine. The U12 was quite good round, and also the U14 worked quite well. So yeah, I think all the athletes had fun. So
how is it for you to, for example, have two female route setters in the team? Did it help? Did it bring something?
Actually, it's pretty cool to have also girls in the team because it's also makes the testing, even if in the youth category, is so much easier if you have like smaller people in the team, so they, for example, can test different solutions for the boulder, or even if the reach is enough and so stuff like this. It's like pretty cool.
Nice. I have seen that you have taken now some holds and made some adjustments. What does it get involved in between 14 and 16?
Yeah, we changed some boulders, like we moved the boys' boulders to the female side now. So the girls U16 climb on the adapted U14 boys' boulders.
All right. Yes, is it going to be a tougher round overall, or more or less about the same difficulty?
I think for U16 is going to be a tough round because probably not for the higher ranked athletes, but the field of strong people is not so high in this category because we also have the European Championships and all of the really top athletes are competing at the European Championship.
Okay.
So the intensity of the field is not so high. But there are even some really strong boys and girls in this final round now.
Thanks a lot for your time, and I hope that the next one goes so well as the last ones. I think it was really pleasurable for everybody to watch it. There was many tops, not too many, and it was quite well split across the field.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much.
Have a nice time. And that was Patrick Sommer, the chief route setter for the whole sim, giving us a little bit of insight of what it was like to be here. Soon we'll be joined by Anja Wimmer.
Und auch vom Bergfuchs gibt es ein Gewinnspiel. Also kurz bei den jeweiligen Zeiten vorbeischauen und beim Gewinnspiel mitmachen.
We will be soon joined by Anja Wimmer, a youth athlete from Austria, from Graz, who got injured and sadly could not take part. To give us a little bit of the insights, what an athlete feels like, what you would read like, or what it is to be like an athlete those days. And now we're looking at the observation. Every single one has got exactly 2 minutes per boulder for observation. In this we have 10 male and 10 female, and soon we will start with the competition.
Pro Boulder. 15 Sekunden Rotationszeit, genug Zeit, zurück in die Isolation und aus der Isolation zu kommen.
And there you see different boys checking the start position. They are not allowed to try the position, but they can have a little bit of a guess or feel how each hold feels like. They're not allowed to touch any of the holds apart from the very start positioning holds. Everything that has got a tape, they are allowed to touch. And they discuss methods, as you see, with these guys talking forwards and backwards, moving and deciding, like Leon Hoyer was doing.
Also keine leichte Aufgabe, aber super coole Boulder. Observation over, just minutes away from the finals now.
And here we have the starting list of the male. Nonetheless, 9 Austrians and 1 German athlete. Moritz Kolle, followed by Matthias Keithen, Tobias Kriegel, Mathis Brix, Leon Heuer, Felix Schnuck, Paul Ockher, Lawrence Stockel and Jacob Großwang. And on the female side, we have for the girls also 10 athletes. Surely will come the list. We're being told that there's only 9 athletes on the female. We still don't know why. Maybe there's somebody being injured or something happening. We will get this for you. But nevertheless, 4 Slovenians, 1 Croatian, and another 4 Austrians. Avenda Sofia, followed by Zana, Gliebe, Annika, Dobler, Valentina Scarlett, Podobic, Marusa, Veronika Todt, Johanna Nagel, Fiona Siku, and Zoya Sedelsiak. Sorry for the pronunciation. I'm happily here joined by Anja Wimmer. She is a U16 athlete. Hello, Anja.
Hello.
So you're not taking place today due to an injury.
Yes.
You're recovering, but you normally would be there on the mats
Yes.
fighting for your position. There's also some athletes which are here taking place today, which you already know. Is this correct?
Yes.
Like Avenda Sofia, do you train with her?
Yes.
Where do you normally train during the week? Where's your place where you go training?
In the blockhouse.
In the blockhouse. Do you also train somebody else in Graz or outside of Graz?
No, CSL.
Okay, it's sometimes for lead. And are you more focused into bouldering or into lead? Normally without the injury.
It depends on the competitions.
Okay, so it depends on the time of the year. You would do one or more than the other. Okay. And just so we know what happened to you that you could not take place.
I hurt my knee while I was climbing. I hooked by a boulder, and then it hurts. And
okay. And how long do you have until you can get back onto the stage?
1 month.
1 month. Okay. Are you doing any kind of training in the moment for anybody who is maybe having an injury and they want to know a little bit how to get back?
Because I can't train my legs, I train my arms and my core.
Okay. Maybe you can be a bit more specific. What do you do? Like kind of trainings?
Push-ups,
Push-ups, okay.
pull-ups.
Okay. Yeah, so anybody, if you're injured in a leg, you know, you can still train. There's no excuses for you guys. Always stay strong and always train, because when you come back, it's going to be good and beneficial that you have done all this, correct?
Yes.
Cool. We're having a little bit of a glance. They had 2 minutes per boulder for observation. On the mat, it's pretty chilled out. Here, we're getting a lot of sun right now. It's getting really hot. And yeah, maybe we can have a closer look at the boulders, and you can maybe tell us, Anja, what your idea of the boulder, whether it's the intended solution, the beta
Yes.
for the boulder is. For example, let's go for the female first boulder that we're seeing here on the screen. Maybe you can run us a little bit through the boulder. What would you do? Which hand would you go?
I would start with the left hand on the white sloper and the black rim with the right hand. And with the right and the left foot, I would stand the black and the white starting hold. Then I would push with the right hand to the next rim. Then standing on the next hold. And over there's a little white crimp, and with this you can make a move to the black crimp and making a double dino to the zone and the white hold. Standing on the higher hold, pushing at the black hold, and take the top with the left hand and then with the right hand.
Okay. This is pretty much what we saw one of your colleagues, Christian, she was doing.
Yes.
This pretty much. They rarely nobody used another solution apart from I think for Alberger, who was just staying really straight and keeping the tension. Maybe we can have a little closer look at the male's boulder number 1. Maybe there's something different going on there. It's on the very left side of the wall. This really overhanging part that we think. Maybe we can see a closer look. Exactly, there you are. So, can you run us a little bit through this boulder?
So there are 2 start holds and a start hold for the feet. If you can push with the left hand in this hold, then to the hold on the volume with the right hand.
Will you go dynamically or will you statically press something?
Dynamically.
Dynamically going through it. Okay.
Then your left foot can stand on the starting hold, and you can take your left hand on the volume, and then you can stand in the hole to climb to the zone with the left hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the female had a different bowler, but it was a little bit the same. So one athlete make a knee bar there, so you can make this solution, and then you can push on the higher hold on this volume and on the pinch.
Because you said you would jump. You would consider yourself more of a dynamic or more of a static climber? Do you like to jump around the holes, or you like to block everything? And
More dynamic.
more dynamic. I guess this is a style that you find more often in your climbing wall, right?
Yes.
In Blockhouse. Cool. Yes, maybe we can have a guess at the second boulder of the men. I think this is they changed quite a lot out of it. This is the big blue one in the middle of the wall, less overhanging, still a little bit overhanging, but not so much. Yeah, I think the start is also looking a little bit different. They removed the jug. They set different starting positions, so I think it looks a bit more tricky. Do you think the people will do a knee bar, or they will just?
I think they will press with the left hand and only stand there.
Okay. And then?
Pushing to the hold a little higher
The
to
pinch?
start, yes. And then I think you have to stand on the start hold with the right foot, and then you have to jump over with pressing your
Okay.
left hand.
We saw before another solution from an athlete. Of course, there were more holds, but they were going like a 1-2. Do you think this is still decisive for the boulder right now?
Yes.
Okay. Nevertheless, we're going to see the first 2 athletes here. The first 2 athletes are Jacob Grosswang and Zoya Sedelsiak. There you are. Do you know these 2 athletes? Have you ever competed with them?
I heard from Jakob Grosswang.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Oberösterreich.
Of Austria?
Yes.
And he's fast. He already got to the top.
Yes.
And that was really fast. We didn't even get a glance of that. Hopefully we're going to be able to see some of that. And there we see Zoya Sedelsiak. I guess she's from Slovenia, from the surname.
Yes.
Come on now, Ali.
There we are, the high foot that Anya was mentioning.
Come on now, Ali.
And it looks like quite a tricky top.
Yes.
You have to latch. How is for you, like when you
Still plenty of
you
time.
look at the hold and you say, okay, you have to commit, and sometimes it's like it's a lot of pressure. I guess there's a lot of things going into your mind, because if you don't hold it, then you have to get all the way high up. How do you deal with those things?
It's hard to deal with, but I think it's actually quite fun to climb the boulders.
And then we see it taking a little bit of a glance. How many tries would you give to a boulder like this? Because we had before I think your ex-coach, or your still coach, Thomas Kolbacher, he was saying to us that the young athletes are giving a lot of tries, and the more experienced athletes take less tries. They just learn to rest mentally or physically. For a boulder like this, how many tries do you think you can give?
When it's a deep boulder, then I would give it 3 tries,
Okay.
maybe. But like jumps, definitely more tries, and like this, I think 4 tries.
So 1 per minute, more or less.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the athlete Soya falls down, not quite making the top. She still has got about 1.5 minutes, and it's very, very hot days today.
Yes.
So how do you manage to not sweat out and break all your skin in the bowls in the qualification rounds? Is there any trick that you do? Do you use cooling pads, or do you use some creams? What does it take as an athlete?
Chalk.
Some chalk.
Yes.
So there you are, chalk it up, and then
Yes.
the sweat goes away.
Come on.
Probably gonna be the last try of this boulder. So far, she's been awarded the zone,
Strong there.
and we had a flash from Jakob Grosswand. There you are.
Come on now. Alex.
Do you do climbing as a full-time, or do you also study at school? I guess you're still at school.
Yes, I'm still in school. I'm climbing at the
National team?
yes also, but I'm climbing I think 5 times a week.
All right, that's a lot of training.
Yes.
How is it? How do you deal with the school? Because I guess you also get homework to do, and there's a lot of time being taken from climbing and from school.
Yeah, there's time between the school and the training, and there I do my homeworks. And I really don't have to study so much for exams because I know it through the lessons. Yes.
Okay, so prodigy. If you want to train hard and you don't want to use your time studying, learning the lessons. Pro tip. And we have here, I think this is Flora Kaischwinkler. And we have Lauren Stöckel. Lauren's looking very strong also on his first attempt. Also using the knee bar that we thought about. A lot of body tension going there. And no problem. Another flash for this young athlete. Lauren Stöckel from Salzburg. Marusha not quite getting the first hold. Do you also travel to the neighboring countries? We see a lot of Slovenians coming here to train in Blockhouse. You having this privilege of having a really good facility, do you also travel sometimes to Innsbruck or to Slovenia, to other countries for some training and simulation camps? And holidays. Okay. Is there any special destination that you like a lot?
Innsbruck.
Innsbruck. Again, another female on the mat alone. The men were quite fast and struggling with the first hold, to be honest. And for what I've known, they've tweaked a little bit the first hold. So if you think before every single kid was doing the hold and no problems, they were just getting high up. Now it's more vertical, as before it was more horizontal. So now it's a little bit harder. It's a lot harder to hold and keep the tension.
Yes.
And there we see the little marks that the root setters do in order to know where to put the holes. And not finding herself. There you go, this looks more promising. Just across. Yes. The small incut. There you are. She's getting into the zone. Has to bump, just like Annie mentioned. flip around. High foot. Oh no! Still 1 minute. Do you think? How long would you rest now? Would you rest 10 seconds? Would you give it a straight go? Would you rest half a minute?
1 minute left.
20 seconds?
Around 20 seconds.
Yes.
So this is how long it takes you for being fresh again.
Yes.
And off she goes with her next try. Aide Fiona, come on, you can do it.
Here we see probably her last try today. She's knowing how to climb the first bar, no problem. She's already been there. Already adjusted to the tension that she needs. We saw another athlete just stepping very high with the left foot, but of course it was smaller than she is. Looks like it would be maybe a way to go statically, but also there's more tension required in it. And the next contenders will come surely. We will have Fiona Siku and Paul Ochner.
And here we go with the next round and the next.
Do you know Fiona at all? Have you climbed with her? Have you trained with her?
No.
Okay. And we're going to see a glance at the variation of boulder number 2 that has been for the men. Quite a big difference. So for the female, we know more or less how it should be going. And there we are, Paul Ochner. And we think going with the left, really high up. Tension high. And big pinch. Another problem. And a very good easy top, another flash on the main round. And we can see a glance at the boulder number 2 for the men. That's what you were saying. It seems like if you leave your left hand on the round bubble, that your whole body comes around. What will you do in order to prevent that?
I would stand at this next big hole while I'm jumping. Then I will push my foot.
So your left foot would latch onto the second bubble.
Yes.
All right. And unfortunately, we have Jakob not listening to you, so he's not able to do it. So hopefully he's going to find a way how to do it. There we have Soja from Slovenia.
2 minutes to go in this round.
We saw some athletes before trying to mantle this hold. How would you do? What would your solution be like? What do you think? What's the right way?
I would press like her and maybe just stand the foot on the handhold, and then you can easily hold the zone.
Yeah, we saw like Julian Leito managed to get both feet, but then he was not able to move from the position.
Yes.
It's a lot of like shoulders tension.
Come on.
And there we see not so much progress, unfortunately, but getting closer, Jakob Rufang, to holding the zone. Remember, you are not only allowed to hold it, you have to control it, you have to move in order to be awarded a zone, in order to be awarded the points for making your score higher. So far we have Soja with 2 zones in 3 attempts, followed by Johanna Nagel with 1 zone in 2 attempts, and Fiona with 1 zone in 2 attempts. And on the men, and now we have Jakob with 1 top and 2 zones. He will be awarded for that. He just needs to get a top. Any suggestion on how to do the top, Anja?
Well, I think you have to press on the inside. Yes, there.
He looks like it's a little bit too short, doesn't he?
Yes.
10 seconds to go. He can still do it. He just needs to keep the tension. 3 and falls down. Sat C. No top. For the second Bolden men's number 2. Coming, we're going to see now Johanna Nagel and Felix Schnuck from Salzburg. And we're going to be able to see what these 2 athletes can do for the 2 second boulders.
Und Veronika Todd also on boulder number 1.
So Anja, how long are you climbing? How many years have you been climbing for right now?
My first competition was at the end of 2016.
So you were then?
Auf geht's. Come on, Felix, geht schon.
6 years? 7 years?
7.
7 years.
But I started my first climbing lessons when I was about 6.
Alright, so that's a good age for starting, right? If you want to get further. Because then you have a lot of time, a lot of mileage, a lot of volume.
Yes.
Any experience, any recommendations to anybody who's wanted to get into climbing? Where to start, what to do?
You will have to do climbing lessons so you know exactly the technique, and then you can start climbing. It's actually easy to start if you have shoes.
Yes?
Then you, for example, climb in Bloc house.
Okay. So there you are. If you want to start, it's a good idea to get some lessons from some professionals, right?
Yes.
In order to get the right techniques and the right path. And for sure climbing boots are needed. And there we see on first Bolden number 1, the Hungarian athlete looking very, very strong. We're getting also a little bit of a breeze here. That is Veronika Tut, who almost falling down, but managed to recover. She's a little bit shorter maybe than the other athletes, and she has to release the foot.
Yes.
And there, Lorenz Stöckel having a read of the boulder, thinking there's now really good shade. I think the temperature on the mats are very, very nice and very fresh. Here in the commentary box, we're getting a lot of sun. It's quite warm actually, but we're happy to be here in Blockhaus for the Block Summer 2022. And he's going to latch again. He's aiming for the lower one. I don't believe he's going to be able to do it if he only gets it, but like sometimes you get kids of your age which are just using different solutions, are making everything possible. So does it happen to you often that you climb things in a different way that they were thinking about?
Yes.
And then if your trainer tells you it was this method thought, you go and try it, or you just don't care?
Sometimes the trainer said we have to try it in the other way also.
And do you see it as something positive to learn, or?
Yes. So you often do it like you can do it better, and otherwise you can train the thing you can do so good.
So it gets better, it gets more internalized.
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, you can do it. Come on,
And unfortunately falls down. Still about 10 seconds. Don't think it's going to be enough. So far, no tops on the women's section. sorry, tops, but
Next rotation, next athletes out here. Entering the stage, Leo, Hoya, as well as
a lot of zones, but no tops in the female section, and 4 flashes on the male section. Also, we're going to be able to see the boulder number 3 that was before for the men. It looked really, really hard, really a lot of tension. Joining us on the mats are Potocznik's Marusha, I believe, and on the men we have Matas Prix. And ooh, we saw the young athlete Paul Ochner almost getting the zone with both hands, 2 holds. Slovenian athlete looking very good here, Marusha. Either from his friends and competitors and coaches.
Come on now, Ali, you can do it.
Are we going to see the top? Yes.
And there's the top. Congratulations, Marusha.
Marusha looking very strong. Managed
to climb to the top and also stick it.
And ooh.
Still plenty of time left. No need to
We
rush
saw
it.
Paul flying around, almost getting it. He's getting closer.
Stay strong, stay focused.
And we're seeing also the boulder number 3
Ali, come on.
making progression. Jack up. Of course, it removes the big holes that they were there, big chugs. And they're very poor footholds and very small crimps. What's your favorite grape type? Anya, do you like more slopers, more pinchers?
I love volumes.
Volumes?
Yes.
Okay. Volumes are normally quite hard to read and quite complex in between body
Yes.
positions.
Okay, Steve, come on. You can
Is
do it.
any reason why you like volumes a lot?
They're big and they're... I don't know.
There's the top clear.
And Leon Hoya just got a top from boulder number 1. I think he was one of the very few athletes which didn't flush the boulder. He did it on second attempt. And on the women, we already got top. That was a flash from Marusha. And Johanna Nögel almost getting the zone controlled.
Okay, Ted, come on. You can do
There we
it.
have another go by
Off
Jacob
your shoulder,
Grossbach.
Come on.
How many hours do you take per session? Because you said you train 5 times a week. How long does a session last for you? Between warming up, training, cooling down, everything?
3 hours.
So 3 hours per 5 days a week.
Yes.
And do you take the 2 days a week rest after each other, or just 1, 3, 1, 3, 1 or something like that?
Mostly Sundays and Wednesday is a rest day.
Okay. And we just saw sorry, Johanna Nagel falling from the top, not being able to latch it. We're gonna have the next rotation, Annika Teubler and Matthäus Katan.
Now the next 4 minutes just started.
Remember, they have 4 minutes for topping the boulders. Every single athlete chooses to brush. Is it something you find it and considered important, and if so, why?
You can see the holes better actually, and you can brush the chalk off, and I think it helps.
It helps a lot.
Welcoming on stage now, Valentina Scarlett. And
And then we have
Matthäus.
A little confirmation, your trainer was just here, giving us a thumbs up. Thanks for joining, Anya. It's really nice to have you here, giving us a little bit of some insights. Making the effort to speak in English. Is it something you learn in school, or is it quite hard?
Yeah, in school.
I guess it will be quite worth it for future international competitions where you have to travel.
Yes.
And two athletes just fell from the first middle part of the wall. And we're seeing a close top here from Mateusz on the left side of the wall. And there you are. That was the top. And I believe he also made it into a flush. We're not being actualized yet, but I guess we will get it very soon.
2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. No need to rush. Plenty of time left. More than enough for a couple more tries, a couple more attempts.
Looked like Veronica wanted to get their foot really high, but it was quite awkward for her. And we have a really close shot from Valentina from Austria. Do you know Valentina?
Come on.
Not very good.
Okay. Valentina unfortunately falls down. And we're seeing again Veronica Tut from Hungary. This time getting to the big on the clink, but not quite reaching the zone hold. We see a lot of more shade. Still not a lot of people for such a big competition like that. Not a lot of people watching. I think they're more in the shade. Guess they're waiting for the big final going on. Nonetheless, for 1 hour and a half. At 8:30 we will have the big final for the seniors. And it's a together combined. Still there's 2 more days. Tomorrow we're gonna have more finals. We have the European Youth Championships going on here in Graz for 2 days. Tomorrow and Saturday. But we will keep you updated to everything before we say goodbye to you tonight. And there we see a lot better Annika, and not quite getting the top. It looks like it's quite covered and it's quite thin to reach inside.
Yes.
Also the start for body number 3 for the men is changed. Now you have to use the volume. A lot of tension required. So we're going to go in the next rotation. And we're going to get Krieger Tobias, sorry. And for the female, we are going to get Valentina Stalet.
After qualification, Annika Deubler and Tobias Krieger on stage.
Do you do any sort of mental preparation before you start a competition, Anya? Thomas was telling us there's some athletes which need to calm down, some athletes need to like activate. Which kind of athlete are you, and what do you do in order to calm down or go up or focus before a competition?
Sometimes I'm reading or getting active.
So are you more like a kind of like active person, or you're an active person? So reading is something for you that helps you keep it down.
Yes.
Come on, come on, there's a stop.
And we're seeing a really, I want to see a first stop of folder number 2 of the men. It's looking really struggling. Leon Hoyer fighting hard in the middle of the wall. And Tobias Spiegel just had it top on board number 1, we missed it, and Leon Hoyer just falls down. And Jakob having a go at the 4th boulder on the men. We saw it before, just falling down from the top, not quite holding this small crimp at the very high part of the wall. It gets a little bit more overhanging, so the crimp is just a few degrees less positive, and therefore you have to keep more tension on your foot. A more difficult start position, I believe. So only 1 foothold.
Come on.
And Jakob looking like taking a breath on this very horrible volume. I guess this is kind of your boulder. You like those things, right?
Yes.
Decided to brush the hold once again.
There you are, standing up slowly, slowly, slowly. And now he needs to commit
Pretty hot conditions to climb.
to a pretty bad hold.
There,
And misses it again.
they got showing off great amount of strength, flexibility, creativity on the wall.
And Leon
Amazing to see.
just spanned out. He didn't have to jump.
The really big, strong.
I bet the root setters weren't expecting
Come on
that.
now, Adele.
He just needs to stand on top high enough in order to keep the tension. And he's been awarded for the top. He's been fighting very hard and highly rewarded for that. That's going to jump him really into high position.
Leon Hoyer,
That's a higher position, I think, probably 1st position, if I'm not wrong. I think he's got 2 zones and 2 tops. The only athlete to be awarded with 2 tops so far. We see 2 athletes just falling from the very top of the wall.
18 seconds to go, you can do it. Come
There's
on,
only
guys.
18 seconds to go, and we see him again. Jacob, his last boulder, he's fighting again. Do you think the 4th boulder is a boulder that one could try fast? It requires just precision and just be slowly. Because he knows already the boulder, but it's kind of a slow thing. The chances, do you think?
And on 2nd position after qualification, Shana Liebe and Matthias Katan.
And we're having Matthias Cantana and Annika Deubler, or as you would say in German, Deubler. And Felix is looking pretty promising, but just fell down.
Ali, you can do it.
Annika looking pretty good here. So that is Zana Netanika. And falls down.
Come on, Matthias, you can do it. Come on now, Ali.
And Paul fighting very, very hard.
Richtung Top, auf geht's. Ali,
Matthäus just got awarded top, I believe. So far, pretty much every single athlete has topped boulder number 1 of the men. And Mattis Briggs is trying really hard to fight. Horrendous boulder for your back. Just has to take a sip of water and just take a little rest.
Ali.
Do you also do some outdoor climbing, Anja?
Ali.
Not often in the competition time, but I hope we're getting more.
Do you like the outdoor bouldering
Yes.
scene here? Do you think it's something that it helps a little bit at some points?
Yes.
In which way do you think it helps?
I think it's actually good for your
Creativity?
Yes. Because you have to find the holds first.
That's true. Any of the cracks here in Graz or some cracks that you can tell us maybe where you like to go climbing?
Zigonolo.
Zigonolo.
Yes.
It's the classic out crack in Graz, on the outskirts of Graz. Anybody who's around here can go and try some of the routes there and get stronger for the competitions.
Yes.
Last minute
going, and still, apart from Matthias, everybody's on the wall.
Come on, you can do it.
And we're seeing Fiona Sikor on the very right side is making good amends. She's made the zone and unfortunately falls down.
Auf geht's, Lawrence, come on.
Lawrence going for the top and quite misses it.
20 seconds left.
20 seconds left to go. Not a lot, but it's still enough for another top for Zana Gilebte. She's cruising up and falls down. We lose her, and fortunately we're going to follow into the next rotation. And I believe we're only getting a female now.
Und auf Platz Nummer 1 nach der Qualifikation gestern.
So there's a
Moritz Scholler und ein Riesenapplaus.
So we thought we only had 9 athletes, but we have 10 athletes, and that's Moritz Scholler from the last qualification. And there we have your friend and local hero, Sofia Wender. Can you tell us a little bit about Sofia, please?
I think she is better in lead climbing. She was several times in the finals of European Cups this year, and she will compete at the Youth World Championships in August, later than in America.
Wow. So she's pretty getting stronger and stronger in the bouldering also?
Yes.
Does she like one specific, what's her favorite ways of climbing? And a flash. Not many people flash this boulder, and that puts a very strong position for Sofia. What kind of style of climbing does she like? Does she like more like a dynamical person or more like a crimpy person? Or?
I think she's more static.
Static
but I'm
person?
not sure.
Okay. We will find out as the competition carries along. For the crimpy things, she looked pretty in control.
Yes.
And on the right side, that was Johanna flying around. But for now, let's stay with Paul. Paul taking a breath and getting into this massive volume where you have to stand on one foot. So you have to be precise. And Tobias on the left has managed to get the zone. Now, can he get a top?
Come on.
Good tension, and it's been awarded for a top. Tobias is going to be jumping quite high up. And it's the second position because he topped 2 boulders in 3 attempts. That leaves in a very, very strong position, Tobias Kriegel. Also an athlete from Graz.
Under 16 years of category. The third finals already this day here on the main stage. And the second to last final.
After you get your little
Afterwards in the evening there's the finals of the
protection that you have for your knee, will you start straight again bouldering, or what is the plan?
wants to defend her
Bouldering, I think I will have to wait longer because if you're fouling use, but lead climbing.
Also on lead?
Lead climbing, I think I can do before I boulder.
Okay. But also on top rope or on lead?
Top rope.
Top rope. Yeah, 47 seconds, wow. Now, it was Annika Dobler, she was just flying away, trying to get the zone. I'm wondering if she's going to try this method again.
Come on, auf geht's.
Yes. She's a bit far away, but not too far away, maybe it works for her. And the competition will carry on until 7, and then we will take a longer break this time. And we will carry on at 8:30 for the Bloc Summer Masters. This will take around 1 hour and a quarter, something like that. Less contendants, but still a lot of strong field. Big names like Janne Krude and big names like Petra Klinger will join the competition. So if you're following along, we're in this U16 or Youth B, and then later in the evening we'll have Youth A with seniors. This is the first day of competitions here live on the Epic TV channel from 3 days. And yesterday we had the qualification round. This was not live stream, taking place in Boulder Club, and also Blockhouse for the European Youth Masters. And we're seeing a good progression of Felix. He's just about to launch to the top. Yes! First top of all, the number 4 for Felix. Schnook. I think he was a little bit surprised. He was not expecting to hold there for so long. He managed to make it. Yes, that's going to bring him quite high up. He had already one top. The top boulder number 1. Didn't get a top of boulder number 2 nor number 3. And we're just waiting for his actualization of boulder number 4 to be top. Bricks and Matters also staying really strong. We've seen no tops on boulder number 3. Fit us a little bit around. And that looks really promising for Zana. Oh. Falls a little bit down. We have slowly more people joining the group. A lot of get joins, a lot of LS here from the public.
Auf geht's. Come on,
in the middle, the root setter, the European Youth Masters.
For you, 1 minute and 20 seconds now. Heide, Shana, come on, Matthias, auf geht's.
Impressive.
Come on,
We just saw Matthias Keithen holding the zone with both hands, where many people were just trying to hold both. Trying to get a sneaky knee bar, and manages to get a sneaky knee bar top with both hands. So far we've seen pretty much almost everything being topped. I think female 4 has not been topped, male 3 has not been topped, and female 3 has not been topped. Let's see if we can see a last top of both number 3. Not quite.
30 seconds left.
Not a lot of time to go.
Welcome back on stage, Sophia Wender.
So Sophia Wender is going to be coming now onto boulder number 2. Do you think this is a boulder that suits her?
The qualification
I'm not sure.
already on boulder number 2. 4 minutes for them. And
If she
also
finds the right
for the
bidder,
other
she
athletes
definitely
now
will
here.
get it.
Okay. Well, hopefully we're going to see Sophia making a lot of progress and getting the top.
Vergesst nicht,
So far on the
beim
female
Mitspiel mitzumachen.
field, she's been second. She's been also flushing the boulder, but because Marusha has already done 3 boulders, she has got 3 zones, which puts her in a better position than she is now. But Sophia, if she gets a top, she will be first, and if she gets a zone, will stay on second. So for now, Moritz Goller looking pretty strong here from Tyrol and gets top. That shoulder was aching, making me ache. Tobias Kriegel on the left part, looking really strong. And not quite passing those small crimps, but looking quite strong. I think we're going to see the top from this young athlete. I believe this is Leon. Leon looks like he could be getting the top without releasing the right foot. Well, that's where you use height on your advantage. Leon, I think the only athlete with 3 tops, if I believe. Yeah, he was topping boulder number 1, number 2. He didn't top boulder number 3, but he now topped boulder number 4. So he's going to be for sure on first position. And Sophia not quite being further. We're going to see if she can get further. Launching for this left hold. And not quite getting the foot on the right. You want to do a foot plant. And there we have Tobias. Jump into this crimpy section. Feet cut loose. There's a little chip on the underneath part of this volume. There you are, where she's holding now. And from there you have to launch into this very, very poor foothold, handhold at the very top on the right side. A very bad pink hold. So far nobody got higher than that. But hopefully we're going to see a top. Annika getting also very, very high. Unfortunately not being able to stay long on the wall, and those pinches are pretty bad. And on the very right side we're seeing the Slovenian athlete getting way further past than anybody else. And unfortunately falls down. I think those crimps, they stay the same, they have not been twisted, so we know that it's possible. No problem now with the coordination move, but 20 seconds to go, maybe it's something to think about.
Okay, Sophia, come on, we want to hear something.
Sophia also struggling a little on the left, but Marusha topping boulder number 4. Nice on the very last 3 seconds. I'm sure she's happy with this last top. Well, the competition is getting more interesting. See, we're seeing different athletes top different boulders. And who do you think is going to be winning?
It's hard to say, but I think Sophia Wendel's the favorite.
Nice. So this you would put your money for the boys? Any guesses?
Not really.
I guess some of these athletes are not so well known to you, and it's quite hard to know where each one is
Yes.
at. Matthias on boulder number 3. A boulder that requires a lot of tension in the body. Hanging pretty solidly and not struggling a lot. Bad foothold gets the very poor hold. Matches, and it's the very first athlete who gets to this one. Top is a bit tricky, but should not be a problem. The hardest is all over, and he's trying to jump. And it's the first top for boulder number 3 of the man. Super strong. He managed to get twice all the way high up, but the second time he managed to finish the boulder. So I believe Matthias, now having done boulder number 4, is the only athlete with 4 boulders, which makes him on first position. And Matthias being almost the last one, the only one who could take him down.
Also on her way.
It's Moritz, but Moritz hasn't finished his rotation. His
Was Jana Glibe, and still in the wall.
a lot of competition still to go, so predictions still pretty hard to know what's going to happen. Briggs Matters brushing the holds for what I believe it's going to be one of the very last attempts. I think
20 seconds to go.
1 to 2 attempts probably is going to be the number. Taking this 1 minute and about 10 seconds. This German young athlete. Some athletes were jumping from the right to the left and already positioning the left foot on this jib. He's choosing a method which is maybe more secure, but it takes a lot of more time, and then you have to do this foot swap. Not so sure which one is the most effective one. I think I would go for the run and jump.
I think too.
Auf geht's. Come on, Matthias, you can
Stepping
do
on the
it.
very bad foothold. Now has to get the right really, really high.
Where is Matthias Briggs? Come on now, Ali.
Hold that the door doesn't open, the barn door stays close to the wall. We've seen all the athletes reaching from there. He's also quite tall, but I think he needs to get a left foot. And unfortunately the barn door opens. Probably that's about it for today for him.
Strong performance from Matthias Briggs here in this final.
Matthias Briggs is sitting now currently in 3rd position. This can change. But for now, he's got a podium.
Jeder putzt sich hier noch einmal die Griff zurecht. Versucht da den Staub, das Chalk und den Schweiß noch ein bisschen runter zu bekommen, und dann starten sie schon los.
And Sophia on the very left part of the wall on boulder number 3. There's a physical body. Do you think this this is something that she likes more?
I think she likes it more than the female two bowler. Let's see what she can do.
Tobias has just touched the red tape, the black tape. He's not allowed to be crossing this. I think he's been pulled down by the judge. There you are. And we just saw a top on boulder 4. That was Annika Dolbe. Strong performance from the Austrian athlete. And Sophia almost managing to stay on the pinch. Unfortunately falls down.
Okay, Tobias, come on, Moritz,
I believe this is Moritz, the only person who can take the podium away from Leon. And Tobias just managed to get a top. We didn't get in camera, but he's been awarded top. And there here we have Sophia taking a little bit of a rest, looking at the boulder, thinking, what do you try to think when you take a rest?
Another solution. Maybe the solution you tried before didn't work. So.
Geht's jetzt, Sophia, geht schon, Moritz, komm an, alle.
No point for Sophia from this first part. Into the heel hook. This time stays on the pin. If she tops this, she would be the only girl having top. Quarter number 3. Holding the tension. And a big top from Sophia. Gets a big applause from the whole audience. I think this is going to put her directly into first position.
50 Sekunden jetzt auch noch für den Moritz. In Pole Nummer 3. Auf geht's jetzt.
Moritz, he needs to top this if he wants to be first.
Ali, come on.
Quite misses the hold. And I think that's going to be not enough time. That's to leave the mat. So far on the men we have Kriegel Tobias in the first one, then followed by Leon Hoya and Matthias Kethen. And on the female, Sophia's sitting on third position, Annika's on second, and Marusha is on first. Of course, Sophia needs to do another boulder until the two finish their rotation.
Am letzten Boulder angelangt in diesem Finale.
Matthias Katan on his last rotation with Sana.
4 minutes time to complete the boulders.
Both choosing to brush the holds. So I think your friend Sophia has got good chances of winning.
Yes.
If she tops boulder number 4, would put her definitely in a really high position. For now, she's on the podium. We still have Sana on boulder number 4, and then it's Sophia. So Sana, I believe she's not in the podium yet. So, but Sana has no tops, so we know that for Sophia is for sure third position. And we'll see if she gets a little bit higher, if she can get another zone or another top. According to Matthews is sitting currently in third position, and the last one is Moritz, but Moritz has got less tops, so he cannot be taken up. And Matthias is really good.
Performance von den beiden hier. In Pole Nummer 4. Auf geht's, Matthias. Come on, Ali.
And Matthias manages to get a top.
And there is a top.
And I believe he's going to be first position.
Congratulations.
Yes.
With the only athlete with 4 tops on the male section so far.
Er schafft es da, dieses Finale mit einem Top zu beenden.
So a perfect round, 4 tops
Das Gleiche hat
for
jetzt
4
noch
boulders.
Shana in den nächsten 2 Minuten vor. And there she goes with her next try.
And there we are, Matthias has been awarded the first position. Krieger Thomas is in second, and Maximum Hicken is third.
Jana, come on,
Jana.
you can do it.
Still with enough time, I believe she still has the 1:40.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, Ali.
And Jana falls down. She still has enough time. No need to rush anything, just focus, stay positive.
No need to hold anything back now. Last over, last round. For Jana. She wants to give this over everything.
And this time no problem with the coordination. She's got it fixed down. High through the right.
Come on now, Jana.
The hold is very, very bad. Needs to be crossing and holding the tension in the whole body. Come on, girl.
Come on now, Ali.
This time manages to get the body straight.
Come on now.
She has enough time. There should not be a problem to rush.
Jana, you can do it. Come on.
20 seconds should be enough. She needs to keep on moving. No, falls down. I think she's not going to be very happy about that. But that was the last for her for today. And she's going to be fourth, unfortunately not finishing on a podium position. We know Sophia is in a podium position. The question is which position she's going to be ending up. She's third and she could be aiming for first if she really tops it out. If she gets it now on her first attempt, she would be jumping onto first. If she takes 4 attempts, it would be second. Any more, she would stay as third. Sorry, as second. She would be second as second if she gets the zone. And she gets the top, she automatically would be on first position. And she did this jump perfectly on her first attempt. Both of the athletes making good progress. Sophia looking really calmed.
Ali, Ali, Ali.
No! Those are the nerves they're wrecking at the end of the day. Very last second, you just have to keep it going to the end. But Sophia Wende has been just jumped into first position because she's got a zone on her first attempt. So she's going to be for sure gold medalist, but top would be nice. She doesn't know now, and she's still nervous, but she's the gold medalist for this Bloc Summer 2022 for the category of Youth B. She's saying it's pretty warm. She used the warm word in German. No problem with the jump. Smoothly landing. She has still 2 minutes, so even if she doesn't get it now, she could get another try. Of course, we want her to make it now. And this time, get to the top.
Gratulation.
Big smile. And I think she's pretty happy. So that was everything for the youth 16th. We soon will bring you the results. As for my companion Anya, thanks a lot to you. Thanks for joining me and for helping me.
Thanks, it was so long.
And good recovery with your knee, and hopefully next time we can see you on the mats giving it all. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.
And see you in a couple of minutes.
And those are the results. Avenda Sofia first, Marusia Podolskic second from Slovenia, and Annika Doyle third. That's our position, followed down by the 3 Slovenians. But for the men, there you are. We have 3 Austrians, Matthäus Keiten, followed by Tobias Kriegel from Graz, and Moritz Goller further down. More Hoya Leon, Brix Mattes, Schnuck Felix, Ocke Paul, Grockmann Jakob, and Stöcker Laurens. If you're wondering what's going on next, why are the Root Sisters still working? Well, there's going to be another competition, the big ending for the day, the Bloc Summer Masters. This is taking place at 8:30 with big names like Johanna Feber, Francis Sterer, and Petra Klinger. On the men's side, we have a big name, Jenna Kruder. Don't go, just take a little rest, go to the toilet, take a break. We will see each other at 8:30. Thanks a lot. My name is David Patterson, and this is the Bloc Summer Masters for 2022.
Vergesst nicht, beim Wiener städtischen Gewinnspiel mitzumachen. Zu gewinnen gibt es ein Active Weekend für 2 Personen. Einfach den Zettel ausfüllen und schon seid dabei. Verlosung wird dann stattfinden nach dem Masters-Finale vor der Awarding Ceremony. Und auch noch schnell einmal zum Bergfuchsstand und dort beim Gewinnspiel mitmachen. Dort gibt es auch ein Crashpad zu gewinnen. Wird dann kurz vor dem Masters-Finale stattfinden. Also schnell noch hin und mitmachen. Zahlt sich aus, kostet nichts. Wenige Augenblicke jetzt nur noch, bis die offiziellen Ergebnisse draußen sind. Dann wird auch die Siegerehrung stattfinden bei unserer Side Stage. Also alle einmal zur Side Stage, zur Siegerehrung. In wenigen Minuten ist es soweit. Now the official results are here, so please come to the side stage, all the athletes who competed in the finals. Please come to the side stage for the awarding ceremony. Bitte alle Finalistinnen und Finalisten zur Side Stage kommen. Die Siegerehrung findet in wenigen Minuten statt. We are only a few moments away from the awarding ceremony, so please come to the side stage. All top 3 athletes after the finals round. And also all of you, all of the audience. Nur noch wenige Momente bis zur Siegerehrung. Bitte zur Side Stage kommen. Dann können wir auch schon starten. Nicht vergessen das Wiener städtische Gewinnspiel. Schnell rüber zum Zelt und einmal ausfüllen den Zettel. Auch das Bergfuchs-Gewinnspiel. Beim Bergfuchs-Zelt sowie beim Serum-Zelt könnt ihr euch unsere Top-Shirts kaufen. Bloc Summer Top. Also nichts wie hin, einmal bei den Gewinnspielen mitmachen, ein Shirt holen und noch ein kühles Bier holen in unserem Gastro-Zelt. Dann wieder zurück on stage. Gleich findet die Siegerehrung statt. Dann geht es auch schon weiter mit dem Finale heute Abend. And now the awarding ceremony. Jetzt die Siegerehrung. Auf dem dritten Platz bei den Damen Annika Däubler. Einen Riesenapplaus für die Annika. In Vertretung für den KVÖ Ernst Färber hier für die Preisübergabe. Auf dem zweiten Platz Marusza Podobnik. Und auf dem ersten Platz die Lokalmatadorin Sophia Avenda. Das sind die drei stärksten Damen nach dem Finale. The three strongest athletes. Thanks, ladies, and on to the boys. Hier für die Preisübergabe Sportamtsleiter Thomas Rajakovic. And on the third position, am dritten Platz, Moritz Goller. Und auf dem zweiten Platz, Tobias Krieger. Hier mit auf der Bühne Thomas Rajakovic für die Stadt Graz, für die Preisübergabe. Und auf dem ersten Platz verdient Matthäus Katan. Congratulations, big Applaus, einen großen Applaus für die 3 stärksten Burschen der U16-Kategorie bei diesem Youngsters Masters Finale beim Bloc Summer 2022. Nicht vergessen das Wiener städtische Gewinnspiel und das Bergclubs Gewinnspiel. Einmal schnell rüber, alles ausgefüllt, einmal mitgemacht, noch ein Serum-Shirt geholt und dann geht es schon weiter, bald mit dem Finale der Masters. Hier mit Kalibern wie Petra Klingler, Franzi Sterer, Jo Färber, Jenne Gruder, Dominik Hertel, alle wieder hier vertreten. Schauen, dass sie hier euch zeigen, wie Bowlen funktioniert. Also holt euch noch was zum Trinken, holt euch noch was zum Essen. Sichert euch einen guten Platz und dann geht es schon bald los mit dem Finale hier in Graz.